Forgot. 16. Of course, live now. Get ready to kick off your week with Weeksauce. And if you enjoy this show, find more podcasts like it over at amove.tv. Happy Monday, everybody, and welcome to a brand, fresh, cracked episode. That's more of an angry chicken joke, but whatever the case is, of Weeksauce. I'm Garrett Weinzel, and I'm joined, as always, by Mr. Kyle Ferguson. Kyle, if folks don't watch the live video of this, they're missing out, because we do stupid-ass dances during the intro music to wake up.
It's true. It's true. Gotta wake up. It's 9 a.m. for me, noon for you, which is still a perfectly sane time to be waking up.
I am not a morning person at all. I don't think I am fully awake until 1 p.m.
No, my new neighbors aren't either.
How do you know? This seems concerning.
You see, the apartment, so below us is Boner Patrol right now. The guy with the car who doesn't know how to back up after he does it every single day.
Did you say Boner Patrol?
We call him Boner Patrol because every time...
So I did hear correctly. Wait,
why? When he pulls
why?
out... I don't, because he's trolling for boners. I'm not sure. Whatever he does in that car, shaking the whole house and then backing it up and then messing it up. Like, literally, he will spend 5 minutes rumbling our entire apartment complex just so he can park his bumper right over the concrete block.
You don't want to.
He messes it up every time.
You don't want to park your bumper over the concrete block. That's how you scratch your bumper. You want to stop just before the bumper.
Right.
Have you... So you mentioned this guy before. Have you seen the car?
Yes.
So you've seen is it old?
It is older, yes.
So you're not a car guy.
Classic, perhaps.
Okay. Then he probably, honestly, legitimately probably needs to warm up.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But he likes the rumble. But you know, I've gotten used to that. The cat's gotten used to that. But we live in an area that's very military. Lots of people move in and out. And my bathroom and my bedroom make this sort of L shape, if you will. The closet being the corner of the L there. Take another L and kind of put them together so you get a perfect little shape. And that's the shape you make with the neighbors. So when the apartment through this wall here is occupied, we can hear everything they say in our bathroom. And we can hear everything they say in their bathroom in our bedroom.
So that seems like the best scenario, being able to hear your neighbors, right? Because how much talking really happens in a bathroom?
A lot.
Really?
A lot. When you don't like your job and you wake up in the morning, that's where the majority of the fights happen.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I guess if you're sharing a bathroom, yeah, that's
right. And she's doing her makeup, and then he comes in and is like, and she goes, and then like a kid comes running in. There's some sort of small child over there, or at least a screechy dog.
I do not know what Katie and I would have done in our old place, because our old place only had one bathroom. We had to share it. But even when I had an office job, I didn't have to be there until 10 a.m. So we didn't have to share the bathroom, because Katie had to be there at a normal 9 a.m. She usually would get there about 15 minutes early just to get ahead of the day. And so it just worked out. Like, she would hit the bathroom first. I'd get up and have to hit the bathroom like immediately after she was done with it. Like, it worked perfectly. It slotted in nicely. And now, I work from home, so I can just give her all the time she needs. But we also have a second bathroom, so if I have to get up at the same time, it's fine.
I've got a question about that after watching so much HGTV on my vacation there. Do you two brush your teeth at the same rate?
At the same rate?
Yeah.
Oh, no. Katie does a much better job brushing her teeth than I do.
Yeah.
No, I'm just I'm in there and I'm out.
So in the shows, every single one of the shows, particularly the little like filler things that you had to watch 20 billion times between the commercial breaks, there would be like every single show would walk into the bathroom and see one sink and be like, oh, what are they doing? Like it was run by wrestlers, I guess. But, Bonesaw, just, they were so offended that they would possibly ever in a master bathroom have only one sink. But we've never needed to spit at the same time because, just like you, I brush rather fast, which I shouldn't do. I use.
Oh, no, I see what you're getting at. You're trying to understand why your ancestors would be offended by only a single sink in the master bath.
Exactly.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I mean, we shared a sink for 5 years. It was fine. It was all right. Yeah, it was no big deal. I mean, we were really excited when we bought our first house and it had 2 sinks in the master. We're like, sweet. But really, it was just the entire sink area it's massive. It's huge. Like we can have just so much stuff out on it that it doesn't really matter.
I wonder if it's kind of like the situation we got going on in the kitchen, where if you open the dishwasher, you can't open the fridge, and vice versa. So maybe it's one of those things that once it's gone, once you have 2 sinks, you're like, how did we ever live without this? But then right now it just seems perfectly fine.
Yeah, I could see it being an issue. But again, Katie and I's mornings don't really sync up. So I think we'd be fine if we had the downgrade.
Fair enough.
Yeah, but that's funny. Man, we're just kicking this week off with domestic talk. Cue the air horns.
But it's true. Like my life is in a weird place right now because we're maybe moving in 2 months, maybe not. They're refurbishing all the areas, not our apartment because we live in it. So everywhere else is nice now with nice appliances and nice cabinets, and we've still got that, peel off the sticker and you see the smashed cardboard kind of look underneath. So we don't know what we're gonna do, and at the same time, I also have voice chat now in the main game I stream, and I was posting the majority of those videos to YouTube for to make content. Here's my Alex Drazen Hero League, but people curse all over my videos right now, which I don't care about in the moment because it's fun. Like cursing is fun for a lot of people. I don't curse because I'm hosting a show. Plus, I don't really curse in multiplayer games. It just kind of riles me up. But I absolutely curse at Doom. I curse at Dark Souls. I completely go sailor mode on Dark Souls because computers are assholes and deserve to be cursed at.
I'm a foul-mouthed individual. I cuss a lot, and basically all the time except on podcasts. And even then, I pretty much employ most curse words, but I stop it at PG-13.
Yeah. It's a good way to work it, but it's left me in this weird production limbo where I'm now going fully produced, teaching myself Vegas Studio at the moment, making all my video posts through there, and no more do live sort of things from the Twitch stream make it on the YouTube. So it's just been a wild week. And Kristen's birthday's this week, and we're going places tomorrow.
Oh man, where are you going?
Taking her to the zoo.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm whispering. She can't hear me, no matter how loud I talk.
That's true. I got headphones on.
Oh, that's rad, dude. Let's just continue with the domestic talk. Katie has officially been gone for a week and 2 days, and apparently 7 days. That's the mark. That's where I'm fine. Yesterday was day 8, and I was just straight up depressed. I was done. I am done. I don't want to do this anymore.
It's tough going it alone.
Yeah, I don't know. And I hear from so many people who are married, and I will not point them out in case their wives listen, who are just like, dude, what's wrong with you? Yeah, why is that a town? Play all the video games. Go do the stuff that you like doing. It's like video games are like the one thing Katie and I don't do together. That's it. And frankly, after my first 6-hour binge session of whatever game I want to play, I'm done. I'm ready to go spend time with my wife.
I find it's the cooking meals that gets me down the most. Not the eating of them, because I'll just put on a movie and there's no debate. And not like we debate a lot. It's just Kristen likes to feel like she got something out of her evening, whether it's a great movie, whether it's a documentary. If it is too stupid, it just doesn't fly. And so I might watch SpongeBob or Conan the Barbarian. These movies these shows that, kind of stupid, kind of throwaway, but I just love them to heck. But it's the making of the meals because I have to do it. Mm-hmm. And I remember, being at a college and cooking for myself and just being like, this is crap. I should have at least somebody else who benefits from my hour of work here.
Yeah, I am so the same way. I don't care about eating alone. I'll wharf down some food, no big deal. But I have found that it helps me at least to grill. Because if I'm grilling and Katie is home, I'm usually alone doing it anyway. She'll be helping out doing the vegetables inside or something. So while Katie's gone, I just end up eating almost no vegetables. And I just go grill a bunch of meat. Because It doesn't feel that different. I don't know. It's just... it's less depressing to be it's less depressing to be outside alone for me than inside alone, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. I burn most of my food, too, when she's not around, because then I load up for a game and throw it in the oven, put it on the stovetop. An extra 10 minutes go by when I was only supposed to be 20.
I do
but
not.
You got a draft, after all.
I don't do shit on the stovetop and then go do something else unless it's unless brown rice. Brown rice is the only thing where I'm like, yeah, you take too damn long brown rice, and I will go do something else. But
yeah, we got a rice cooker finally. Totally worth it.
Oh, I'm jelly.
If you go through a lot of rice, we got this at a Goodwill. It's an excellent quality, which means, of course, some, college kid who loves anime bought it, and he's like, I'm going to eat rice every night, and then he just goes downstairs and eats spaghetti. I remember owning a rice cooker in college, too, and I did not use it. But as an adult now, it is excellent.
Well, this isn't funny at all. This is just informative. Oh, man. So I talked quite a bit about this. If you want the play-by-play, actual play-by-play, I would go check out my solo show. It's called R2T2. That's how you spell my name, with 2 R's and 2 T's. But, Kyle, I had the most Florida-ass experience this weekend.
I saw.
Yeah, there was a snake in my house.
It looked like a ball python.
No, it's a black racer. It's like the most common snake in basically neighborhoods in Florida.
Is it poisonous?
No, not at all.
Oh,
it's just your basic garden snake in Florida. Eats mice, eats rats if they're small enough, lizards, stuff like that. Eats a lot of pests. Frankly, they're good to have around. And after I caught it and had this whole experience, I was doing my research on Google about this snake, because I was just like, I wonder what they're all about. Like, they're technically classified as a constrictor, but they don't actually constrict. They actually smother their prey into the ground before they eat it.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm not really sure how they do that. I kind of want to find a video. It turns out that, as you know, because you've seen the photos and you've actually been here, our backyard is completely bonkers, off the chain as far as a garden. Whoever owned this place before us had the greenest thumbs on earth.
How's it going? Is it still...
Yeah, man, I'm really proud of us. Like, not that we built it, but we haven't killed it. It's actually doing pretty well.
It's the local garden, though, like of plants in the area, so it's not impossible.
Yeah, they're almost all, Florida native or very Florida happy plants. And anyway, I found out that these particular snakes actually help gardens flourish because they eat most of the stuff that kill gardens.
Oh.
Yeah. But, yeah. Walked out back through the slider to see my dogs. One of the dogs is in the corner. I'm like, what are you doing back there? You never sit in the corner. And I heard the slithering. I turned around, and there's just this freaking snake going underneath my table and out into the living room. I'm just like, whoa, what? No, how did this happen? Turns out, I'm pretty sure I let it in while grilling the night before, and it spent the night in my house.
I mean... At least it didn't, crawl on your face or anything.
No, but I have a door on my bedroom. Although I have a door to the outside of my house, and it still managed to find a way in. Yeah, I don't know, but it still freaked me out. Like snakes do not bother me. Like in the realm of I'm not sure what scares you, Kyle, but I'm afraid of spiders. Spiders freak me the hell out. I hate them. I absolutely hate them. I realize they're a good thing to have around, especially in Florida with mosquitoes. Spiders are amazing. I don't care. They freak me out.
We had these nightmare beasts in Chicago, and they were basically like see-through, shorter millipedes. Like they were like super crickets, basically. Imagine a cricket, but all of its jumping legs. And they would like, yeah. I don't. They're called like skirt goblins or something in the past. I don't remember, but they love dark places. So in the northern Midwest, women would be wearing skirts in the kitchen, and they would run out and see the darkness under the large, 50 skirt and try to get under it. And it was apparently a horror show, of course. And these things are frightening, and I don't remember their names, but those are the things that freak me out the most.
Oh, I think I may have found it. Looks like they might be called house centipede.
That makes sense.
It's a long, skinny body with just a billion cricket legs.
Yeah, and real long ones too.
Yeah, yeah. I don't like this at all.
There in New Mexico, when I grew up, there was like a see-through scorpion with no tail, and he was pretty creepy. Ugh. But he wouldn't really make it inside very often. This guy loved being inside.
What the hell, Chicago? I didn't know Chicago had creepy bugs. I figured it was all Florida all the time for creepy bugs in the U.S.
No, I mean, we had some roach experiences too, but hey, that's why I love cats. Jeez, cats kill everything. They eat everything that is bug related. They don't eat chocolate when sitting on the ground, which is great because that probably kills them. And they eat roaches, and they also do everything ghosts would. Howl at night, knock stuff over. There's a lot of things that a cat protects you from.
Yeah. Anyway, so my point is, I'm not afraid of snakes, but there are certain things you are programmed to just not expect to see in your home. And a snake is one of them, and it freaked me the hell out. Oh,
yeah. It's basic horror. Look at something like The Grunge. I'm crawling backwards on the ceiling. It's like, it's stupid.
I think you mean The Grudge, but I would love to see a horror movie about Kurt Cobain haunting a house.
There we go, right? But it is. It's frustratingly stupid when something gets inside your head and scares you, and then you can't stop thinking about it, even though it's just like a head-on backwards.
Yep. Oh, The Grudge scared me shitless, mostly because it was a bunch of unearned jump scares.
Yeah.
That movie really annoyed me. I like The Ring. I like the original Ring. But the Grudge it didn't earn any of it. I saw A Quiet Place this weekend.
Oh, how was that?
That movie's good.
I thought that would be like a beach-based British movie about people going on holiday.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's about a dude from The Office and Emily Blunt surviving a really cool monster.
Oh, like a monster.
It is straight up a monster movie, yeah. Spoiler alert, if you couldn't get that from the trailers or any summary of the damn movie. But yeah, I'm gonna be recording an Embrace of Spoilers about it later today with Joss. But I mean, spoiler alert, I really liked it. There's one specific thing I thought was super dumb, and I'm gonna talk about on Embrace of Spoilers. But I can only imagine you sitting there watching with Kristen and Kristen just being like, "That's the dumbest thing ever. I'm exiting this film." But I would say stick through, push through,
persevere.
Yeah. But I also in one of the other things I struggle with when Katie is out of town is our interests with entertainment line up very closely. So I have like nothing to watch when she's out of town because I'm like, I'm just gonna have to watch it again if I like it because she's probably gonna like it. But one thing that I'm pretty sure she wasn't going to like, and that you've been suggesting I watch for over a year now, is One Punch Man.
Nice.
So I'm 3 episodes into One Punch Man, and I'm happy to say it has not disappointed. I have just stayed away from it for so long now because you and so many people have recommended it. I'm like, it's just not going to live up to the hype. I'm not going to enjoy it. But dude, it's so funny. It is so funny.
Yeah.
God,
yeah, it's really good stuff. I'm assuming you're doing the dub for it, right?
No, because the only thing I can watch is the sub on Netflix. There is no dub.
Oh.
Yeah, I will say, it has not sold me on subs. I freaking hate subtitles. It's too pretty. I hate reading. It makes me so angry.
We're watching Rurouni Kenshin right now and going through that, which is more of like a middle school trip for Kristen, and I only vaguely remember parts of it. There's like a guy with piano wire who attacks people, and the music's real bad.
I did not enjoy that anime.
No, but when an English actor says, "I have to use the Amakakuryu no Hiro Meki style," you're just like, "Oh, jeez, dude." But when it's said by a Japanese actor, is currently speaking Japanese, like those things fly by and they're fantastic. Plus, I can't stand English children, not real children, but English dubbed children.
I don't mind it. I feel like Dragon Ball Z does a decent job with it. I'm very fond of Child Gohan's actor.
Sure, he does a good job. It can get very screechy, and in particular, there's a. Oh man, the voice. I know I've tried to sell you on this, and I can't because the subtitles, and I get that, but I'm dyslexic here, and I'm telling you, it's worth reading, man. Like the voices of the evil ladies who do the in Japanese, they don't translate, and the ho and all like I just love the sound of the voices.
I see where you're coming from with that, like, and you're absolutely right. I got to. Oh, God. Is it the third episode with the giant monster in, like, a science lab thing?
Yeah,
The voice for that monster is amazing. It's so good.
Well, and as you start to, like, learn the language, or at least the tonality, right? You start to recognize the endings and when people are being rude to each other and when they're using overly formal language. And, like, that guy was doing the kid, and like just you know that he's doing like this gangster kind of voice, and it's just, but also the bug lady, right? Like imagine that as an English voice actress. There's a sexuality to the villains in anime that I don't think really succeeds in English too often.
That's fair, and I love the rah-rah in chat, like, yeah, go Kyle, like. Subtitle superiority in anime isn't the most popular opinion.
Right? I'm like, you should play shooters with a mouse, and everyone's like, woo!
Yeah, congratulations. You're a politician saying, I believe we should help our children. Yeah, way to take a stance.
Just got the subtitles and I kiss it.
For me, I care more about the art and the animation in the anime than anything else, and subtitles detracts from that.
That's fair.
So, that being said, I did try and rewatch 08th MS Team Gundam last week. That dub is terrible. It sucks ass.
There are some seriously bad dubs from our childhood when you go back.
I don't know how Dragon Ball Z was so good. I really don't. Is it because Dragon Ball Z is ridiculous and they didn't, I don't know, like, I don't know, but I love the Dragon Ball Z dub, and I can't, and I've legitimately tried the sub, and I can't, because the English versions of Goku and Vegeta, that is it.
That's understandable.
Yeah.
And I struggled to do Evangelion after watching it in English for so long, but it was better, in my opinion. But, I mean, that's just, like, Dragon Ball Z, that's more of like an improv troupe. That's more of a family of actors at this point. And their interactions with each other and their energy they share with one another is absolutely worth it. Like Teen Titans. Slightly topical, slightly frightening.
How?
But because they're making a live action movie and it looks awful.
They've shown anything about it?
Just some production photos, but they're going. It looks like they're going very realistic. I don't know, dude. Like, just there's a wall there. There's a wall where Beast Boy turns into what is currently the graphics for an animal that I just go, no. You're gonna make a green CGI gorilla? No one wants to see that.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I mean, I don't trust anything DC is doing on film right now.
Yeah.
So you're not gonna find any defense here.
But that was like a troop kind of, that was a family. The language fit perfectly for what it was. But I'm glad you're finally watching One Punch Man. There is a trend right now in anime to do the corporate superhero. You got a Tiger and Bunny. You got this other show that I can't quite remember, but the guy, it's really weird boxy animation, and the guy has these huge like antenna hairs.
I have no idea.
I don't know what it is.
I think I may pause watching One Punch though, because I think Katie might like it. It is like legit funny. Like their comedy is, I think it's surprisingly Western in its tone, whereas something like Gurren Lagann is funny because it's completely insane.
Well, also the Gurren Lagann writer or director loves puns. He's very punny.
I don't even think I even picked up on that.
Well, it doesn't go because they're Japanese puns with words in Japanese rhyming with one another, and it makes no sense. It's the same guy who did Kill la Kill too, which is awesome and fascinating because both his main animes have a real point to the sky, you can do it, believe in yourself kind of feel. One for, I guess you could say, males with Gurren Lagann, and one for females with the Kill la Kill.
So you're saying he's the Andrew WK of anime directors?
Maybe, right? Like, but I'm always fascinated by that personally. Like, is God of War the hyper masculine form? Is Bayonetta the other? Not really. Like, you should do the Shepherd thing where both have the exact same lines and they're both badasses because they're just straight badasses. But it's a really cool kind of avenue to explore.
Yeah, I think both can be fun in their own right. In interest of like inclusivity, the Mass Effect is superior in every way.
Right.
But that doesn't mean that I don't still really enjoy stereotypical journeys into hyper masculinity and hyper feminism.
Right.
Or feminality. I don't think feminism was the correct word to use there, but you know what I mean.
I think it worked, man. It worked. We're wrong no matter what. We're on the internet here. But you know what I love about One Punch Man is that every single side character is there to show you how powerful One Punch Man is. And they're all doing the typical anime, like, how can he beat it? And his arms are blown off, and there's no way he can possibly defeat the guy. And then One Punch Man just gets pissed about missing a sail, and that's what gets him to just
yes, that was the episode I watched.
take him out.
I was just like, oh god, did this just become an actual anime? Oh, nope, still completely on brand. We're good.
Yep.
I was worried for a minute. I was like, no, I don't want this to become Dragon Ball Z. I want this to continue making fun of Dragon Ball Z. Oh,
it continues.
God, I love the style so much. I love the dude's face, man. The way they draw his head when he's not like animated up. He looked, it hit me, and then I realized why I love it so much. He looks like Doug from the cartoon Doug.
Yeah, it has that quality, right? I think that's what we all want to believe that we look like, right? Like we're all a bunch of doofy, thin, weak little bastards. But then someone like says, hey, you want to go get some pizza? And you just turn around and you're like, dun, dun, dun. You got the eyes and like the gleam and you're like, yes, of course I do. And I hope my life has those. You see like these gifts, these like dad saves, like where, he's just sitting on the couch and the kid starts to fall over and he's just like, whoa, just completely badass moment, dives across the entire room, catches the kid before the head hits the tile. And you're like, that's it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good, man. It's good. So, you been playing any Hearthstone?
I have. I am not pleased.
Oh, really?
No. This is the... man, maybe it was the last one, too. But I have just been so disappointed by the Legendaries, particular, for the past two expansions.
All right, I feel like you need to be a little more truthful. Because you seem to... You seem to be very class-specific, only Warlock, because I feel like this happens every new standard year. You're just like, man, I don't like the Warlock for Legendaries, and you really let it bum you out.
Yeah, that's true. But also, they also really like giving me Legendaries for Shaman.
Oh, that's random pack opening, right?
Well, no, you get the one free one, right? Like
it's still random, though.
Yeah, no, but it just... Yeah, it's sad to me because they're so unbombastic for the most part, and they have been for a long time for Warlock.
Oh, for Warlock, gotcha. So you just it's not that, because I was gonna say like Lord Godfrey is one of the Warlock legendaries, and it's so good I hate it and want it removed from the game.
Yeah, but put me to sleep, dude. Like, pay 7 for what? Like a 3/3?
4/4. Like, a 4/4 that clears the board. It's a board clear. You pay 7 mana and you reset the board and put advantage to your side.
If I do math, I get to reset the board. What I actually want to do is drop it, have it go, and then I win. I want it to cost $1 billion. 10 is the max, but like make me work. Make it cost 15 and I have to do weird stuff. I'm fine with that. I can open portals all day. But don't give me some gnome I gotta kill 7 times over in order to make something happen. Like they keep loading me up with these legendaries that have all these if statements. And I don't want, like I loved Cthulhu. That's my problem though. Like I love just slam. I can lose all my games. Every game. 1% win rate because I have to climb all the way to 20 mana so I can go slam and win the game, but that's all I want. Slam.
Sounds like you should just, if you don't have it already, you should just craft Deathwing.
But that's such a, I wish I had years ago now because I didn't realize how deep we were going into dragons. But then again, like I'd be crafting dragons that I'm throwing away all the time back into wild, so I'm a little disappointed, but mainly my main disappointment is that every single game starts the exact same. It always freaking Firefly Flamey Head, followed by another Firefly Flamey Head, and then Sergeant gives +2 attack. And I don't want to run those boring ass cards.
Wait, Sergeant gives +2 attack?
Yeah, it's the 1/1 that gives +2. To attack for one turn.
Icarus Knight. What are you playing against?
No, it costs 1. It's Abusive Sergeant.
Oh, what? Oh, people are running that? What are you playing against?
Well, I'm playing at 25.
Well, according to Reddit, 25 is nothing but meta decks.
They're all running they all look the same. Every paladin, shaman, every single one starts with the exact same card. It's just boring.
Well, I mean, the Paladins are going to be like that right now. There is no creativity in the Paladin class at the moment. There's 2 different archetypes. They're wildly different because it's odd and even. You literally can't put the same cards in the deck. But that's pretty much it as far as what Paladins people are playing.
Yeah, and I went through, and I'm more disappointed that I spent so much time in it this weekend because I was really excited. I'm sitting on 3,000 dust. I was ready to, I lost Cthulhu, sure, but let's make a brand new deck. And I don't do any research, of course. I'm not doing net decking, but I find the card I want. And it's Baku the Moon Eater, is it?
Yep, he is the odd legendary.
Yeah. And so I'm like, yeah, okay, this is mine. I love this idea. It's like Reno. I get to do something creative with my deck. Let's go. The moons. And then my side, the moons. And I'm like, oh my God, everybody's using this freaking moon thing. I'm ununique. When I drop this guy, he's crap, like a 7/8 or something. They put all the good freaking Marsh Queen Hunter cards are 4 cost. So you can't even run your Marsh Queen with the damn whatever. And plus, when you're doing a 1/1 like mega, summon the Marsh Queen thing, you're not spending your hero power very often. So it was a complete waste of time. It's just, that's on me, right? But the disappointment built.
Well, I'm gonna say something controversial. I think you should probably craft Shudderwalk if you want something weird that you build to that you slam and might win you the game.
But that's being changed, yeah. This morning they said we're keeping an eye on it. And
wait, it's being changed? They announced it's being changed?
Something somewhere I saw a retweet that Shudderwalk is being watched. It may be too powerful.
If they say that it's being watched, you probably have at least a month or 2.
Okay.
It's not throwing shade. It's just the way they work.
Yeah, well, it's not like Heroes where they're like, we're thinking about it's done.
Yeah, exactly. No, Team 5 moves at a snail pace. Gotcha. Well, I mean, if they do change it, you get your $1,600 back.
That's true.
That's my point being.
Isn't that a shaman card?
It is a shaman card. You said you got a shaman legendary. Did you get Hagatha?
Oh no! They gave me over the last expansion. I got I guess it was 2 now already. Thrall in his Death Knight form, a 8 cost like Halbert that gives me random spells.
Oh yeah, that card is shit.
And then the random I got this time was the Druid 8/8 make a 10/10 version of something on the field.
Yeah, I feel like there's something for that dude, but no, I have not figured it out, and it doesn't look like anyone else has either.
Well, Druids in general are serious butts because they became green. They became the green deck for Magic. They're the big creature, and then they stole beasts from Hunter. They're like, oh, by the way, all the good beasts are on Druid.
You are seeing interesting decks then, because that is definitely not the case at the top tier. They're playing big minions, but even though they got a bunch of beast stuff, no one's running the beast stuff.
No, I don't even see it either. That's because it's crap.
Right?
Okay,
yeah,
it is.
You can't.
It's bad, and it's on the wrong class.
My argument is you can't steal it if it doesn't work and no one's playing it.
I guess so, but it's sitting there, and occasionally I'll play one of those the parrot, and I'll be like, "Ooh, yes, get a random beast," and it's like, here's this totally sweet Druid beast that you wish you had all the time.
Yeah. I agree, man. But I would say give Shudderwalk a try because it seems like it's a style that you're looking for, and I think it's going to be pretty unpopular pretty fast because it actually doesn't have a good win rate. Everyone's losing their shit over it, but it's kind of bad.
Okay,
it's too slow. So I think if knowing you and the hipster that you are in video games, I think you should try Shudderwalk because I think very soon it's going to be the hipster pick.
I have a hard time with Thrall, man. He's a dick. I don't even want to see him. Does he have an alt? No, he has a Murloc.
Yeah, it's Murgle. It's Murgle. I love Murgle.
What's Lunara? What class is she?
Druid. Thank God, because I hate Malfurion.
Okay.
Yeah, I got my Lunara this weekend, and I will never swap off.
Okay.
Sadly, I end most of my games as the Death Knight, so I still have to deal with Malfurion. But, yeah.
I'm still mad that Druid has a better version of my Baku upgrade than my Warlock and my Hunter.
Better version of a Warlock.
Because they get the 2 attack and the 2 armor, and the Warlock, he gets a non-damaging ruin all your own cards version of his ability.
How is it ruin all your own cards?
Because you got to take damage to do all the sweet stuff.
No, but you have to take if it's the cards I'm thinking of, like your Spellstone, you have to take damage from your cards. Your hero power doesn't upgrade it anyway.
No, there's a bunch of new ones in Witchwood where you hurt yourself if you took damage this turn when you play it.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's like Beast Druid. Those are cards that aren't actually going to see any play.
I just like the fantasy, man. That's all I'm there for. I mean, you replace Abusive Sergeant with stabbing sacrificial skeleton, like I play that every game.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, if they're odd cards, this doesn't help. Yeah, you're right. Okay. Yep. Yeah, I was going to say we should try even Warlock, but yeah.
I appreciate the soapbox. There's a lot of truths I accept in games that I do take seriously. I pay attention to the meta, obviously, in Heroes and keep up on that. But Hearthstone is such a casual game to me. It's fun to have this exchange in here. The things I see and the things I wish were good are still crap. That's fine. Like I can have a 10% win rate in this game as long as I'm having fun.
Fair enough. Well, you know what? You should try even because Blood Witch is another one when you're damaged. Oh, wait, no, she damages you. So, yeah, it just seems like odd even doesn't work for the self-damaging Warlock.
I feel like Dreadlord. Is it Dreadlord? Who's the charge discard 2?
Doomguard.
Doomguard. I feel like Doomguard ruined everything forever for Warlock. He's the guy I blame the most. In my opening the newspaper in the morning, look at the politics section and going like, oh, this man, he did it all. He clearly did. He didn't invent the pencil, but you're going to blame him for it. Like, when I open up my Warlock cards and I'm like, where's my 8/8s? Where's my cool thing to kill the enemy with? They're like, well, you have Dreadlord, man. I'm like, I don't want to discard 2. Nobody does.
Well, you don't.
Bums me out.
No one's discarding 2 because they're getting them for free now.
Oh, because you're using like a Warlock thingamabobber and getting it out.
You're either using the I always forget the name, but it's the 5-mana 2/2 that recruits a demon from your deck, or you're using your legendary weapon to just summon it from your hand. That
thing has no effect on the board though when it's played.
Yes, it does because it still has charge.
No. I mean the weapon. You got to pay like 6, and then start of your next turn, I think you get a demon. Is it?
It's completely irrelevant when you deploy a 3/9 with taunt on turn 6.
Yeah, but it's gonna grab my Jiraxis. It always grabs Jiraxis.
I love the way your brain works.
Jiraxis out here.
No one's playing Jiraxis, Kyle.
I need it for later.
I love that. Is the best logic. Like, I can't play that card. It's gonna pull my card that no one actually plays in the deck Garrett is referencing.
Listen, it used to be like 50-50 Mal'Ganis or Draxus, and I was okay with that. But once Mal'Ganis left...
I really hope you don't think I'm making fun of you, but Kyle, do I have your permission to advertise this episode of Weeksauce on Angry Chicken as, if you want to hear someone with a completely bonkers mindset about Hearthstone in the realm of what Angry Chicken talks about, they need to check out this episode, because I am you're blowing my mind.
Absolutely.
Okay,
go for
cool.
it.
Wonderful.
They will have to sit through the sing talk at the front, so they may be a little...
That's very true. That's very true. We're going to have to make it through that, but... Good Lord, man, that's so good. Shifting gears, but staying in video games, I know you you are categorized in my brain as the biggest God of War fan I know.
Wow, that's sad.
Most of my friends hate it, and frankly, I enjoyed the first one, and then I just had no need to return to the series. I was more of a Devil May Cry guy when it came to stylish combo hack and slash games.
Sure.
But there's a new one coming out this Friday, as a matter of fact, and the reviews are just off the charts. Completely, like, it's just some of the best reviews for a game I've seen.
It honestly sounds like Last of Us over again, a console-worthy purchase for one video game.
Yeah. Although, frankly, I got to say, seems like PlayStation's kind of killing it this year. I mean, they've got the Spider-Man game as an exclusive later this year, which looks amazing. We know Last of Us 2 is coming. Yeah, the Spider-Man game is Sony exclusive.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I mean, that makes sense when you say Sony, but...
Yeah, it looks really good. Plus, they had bow and arrow robot killing lady last year. Can't remember that name of that game.
New Horizon or Old Horizons, or
Horizon Zero Dawn. Horizon Zero Dawn. There we go. Yes. They're doing a very good job. Which as a typically more of like a Halo Microsoft fanboy, it's different. I own both, so it's kind of irrelevant. But yeah. But I think I'm buying this game. I think I might pay full price for this game.
Yeah, I don't know if it's quite a spiritual successor. I mean, the third person is kind of Mass Effect-y rather than Devil May Cry.
It looks there's from the reviews I've read, it's saying it's very Dark Souls in its combat.
Oh, interesting.
Very, managing your sword and shield. I don't know if that's a thing in Dark Souls, because I tried playing it once and realized that the game actively was trying to ruin my day and never played it again.
That is what it does.
Yeah, I understand it is the point of the game, and that's why I don't say Dark Souls is a bad game. I say Dark Souls is not a game for me.
Yeah, one of the best things about Dark Souls is that there are no difficulties. So when you beat Dark Souls, you have a shared experience with everybody on the planet who's played Dark Souls.
Yeah, I don't need that shared experience.
That's fine. It's a grueling task.
Yeah, I don't need that. I do not need that. But I was curious what you think from the outside. Outside looking in. I mean, all of us are the outside looking in. We haven't played the damn game yet. But as a God of War fan, how does this game look to you?
It's very different, and the child thing in 3 was a big mistake. So naturally, when they sort of do this father thing at the beginning, at least that's what I'm assuming, I was very nervous. God of War 3 was made like they expected people who watch TV to play it in about half-hour bursts. And every time you came back to it, it would remind you what the story was. And it was weird because you're marathoning this thing. Of course, you're excited for it. You're going to play through it all. And yet it would always have these beats of like, don't forget about Pandora. Remember, you love children. I'm like, stop reminding me. So I think that's the scariest thing about it. I think it's cool to explore other pantheons. I always hope they do Egypt next, but I realize how close that is to, your Roman gods and whatnot.
Yeah, I had assumed that it was like a reboot or a relaunch, but apparently it's a direct sequel. Yeah.
Interesting. I mean, in the first one, when you take the chair, it's like, and Kratos became god of war forever, and there's like pictures of helicopters, and you're like, all right, I guess we're in modern times, the end. But then they went in and kept taking away your powers. And two was great, actually. Cut off the end, kill Zeus there. 2 was great, but they just didn't give you the satisfaction of killing Zeus in that 2. He leaked away. And there were some amazing puzzles in 3, particularly the eye tricks. I think it was Hera. There were some like illusionary walls, and you have to like line up a staircase to be in line with the illusion where it would be, and then you can walk up. Like there's so many amazing mechanics, and it was one of their star leading games. It was near end of cycle, and it was very exciting. It was great graphics, great puzzles. So I am curious to see, with lessons that look very taken from Last of Us, what this God of War is going to be like.
Yeah, it looks like it's way more narratively focused and dramatic. Like it's less it's less heavy metal, more really good Western. Yeah,
it's a bit more. The tone is a bit more emotional and slow, but we were still coming out of Lord of the Rings and that sort of era. It's fascinating. This past week we watched James Cameron's Avatar, and it's so funny. After I was thinking about the South Park episode where he's raising the bar. I have the bar, president, and it's but it's so true. Like. Same with our video games, too. We go through these generations where it feels like things just slowly become crap. And then Last of Us, maybe this God of War, maybe a Mario game, whatever it is, comes along and says, you bastards, let's go. This can be better. Everyone deserves more. And then we slowly leak. I mean, look at Avatar. Oh, my God, the graphics. The way he filmed it basically with a rendering camera, so that he could see the world he was filming at the same damn time he's filming it, because it's all built in a damn computer, so that he could tell this actually, you could say it's like a simple kind of Pocahontas story, but it's pretty advanced. Plus, it's got Sigourney Weaver, so of course I'm into it. It's such an elevation above what is being done all the time, and I can't wait for that next thing, and I'm curious to see if God of War can do the same thing.
Yeah, that's interesting, because I think of I'm seeing God of War, and I think it's going to. It looks to me like it has the potential to be the best narrative told in a game since Last of Us. To me, Last of Us is the pinnacle. I have never enjoyed a story in a game more than Last of Us, and God of War certainly seems to have the potential there. But when I think of Avatar, I think of the most bogus popcorn story ever.
It is. It's a bit better than I think I remembered it in theaters.
For me, I really liked it when I first saw it, and it was like one of the first Blu-rays I bought, and it was one of the reasons I got really excited about the format of Blu-ray, because it was like, oh, this movie's just so gorgeous, I gotta watch it in HD. But the further I get away from it, the more and more I'm just like, I really hate the design of the Na'vi. It's like they're just stretched a little too much. I just don't like it.
Well, they're supposed to be a bit alien, right? But
yeah,
they are
it's just
big humans.
Yeah, you know me, man. Like, if I just think a design is not cool, it severely affects my enjoyment of something.
No, it takes a moment for me, for lots of my artist friends who talk about Blade Runner as this pinnacle of beauty, and I'm just like, oh my God, Blade Runner, I'm so bored. But like when you look at it from with that art eye, I absolutely understand why people love Blade Runner as much as they do. It is a very pretty movie.
Yeah. I mean, I would go as far to say is maybe the most visually stunning movie in my opinion, like ever.
The only thing stunning about it is that people would never, ever, unless they're at like American Apparel, wear a plastic rain jacket with the plastic touching your body. Particularly if you're wearing like nothing but a tube top because you're some sort of future hooker. Like that, like Avatar, they're wearing pants and jeans, and it's the future. You know why? Because we decided as a culture, as people, as human beings, that this cloth is real comfy, and we don't want plastic touching our bods.
Fair enough, Kyle. Fair enough. Giant blue cat people look dumb.
And you know, there's a woohoo kind of quality about it, like when they hiss, when they do their eyes, like. But that's me. Like, I've always had a problem. Even Han Solo coming in with the Millennium Falcon going, yoo-hoo! It's like, oh, my heart. That hurts. That hurts me. Nobody yoo-hoos.
I will give Avatar this. Everything else about that movie is a design achievement, like, at the top of its class. Everything, like, human in that game, it is Terran StarCraft as hell, and I love it. The creature designs are amazing. Those flying pterodactyl monster things are just mind-blowing in the way that they look. The floating islands, you'll never see me not smiling when I see fully rendered floating islands. It's just one of my favorite stupid fantasy things. I love them.
And I love the villain, where he runs out without the mask and just starts unloading.
Yeah.
I mean, throughout the whole movie, he's a badass. But the rear view mirror, like that, I feel like that is such a crowning achievement of a movie like that, because you don't reinvent the fork. Unless you're trying to be weird. You're trying to do seashells in the bathroom right weird. There is no need for him to have some sort of tactical display helping him see behind him, when a rear view mirror will do exactly that. And when we see it, we know this is a human using human. In fact, it said, and I believe it because it's James Cameron, that he had two different teams. One worked on the Navi, one worked on the human stuff, so that there was so much disconnect between the two.
Oh, that's smart.
It is.
Man, now I gotta rewatch Avatar. I haven't seen it in so long. I've just become cynical about it. But it did blow my damn mind the first time I saw it.
It's a bit hardier than you remember it. Like, remembering other James Cameron movies where you're like, oh, that's just Arnold Schwarzenegger in a gully for like half the movie. And you're like, there's a lot to it. In fact, it probably should have ended about 4 times at different parts, but it doesn't. Terminator 2.
I think Terminator 2 is my favorite action movie.
It's real good. It's real good.
It's really good. Where the hell's Linda Hamilton? I miss Linda Hamilton.
She went through some weird stuff.
Can we get sad for a minute?
Weren't we already during Witchwood?
You were. There's a couple things about
Yes.
Witchwood bumming me out, but overall I'm having fun with it. Lee Army died.
Now, I normally wouldn't be good at names, but his name actually has Army in it, right? Am I thinking of the right guy?
Yes. You're thinking of dude what played Drill Sergeant in everything with the Drill Sergeant.
Yeah, hilarious in SpongeBob and a wide variety of other cartoons.
Yeah, he did a ton of voice acting. I remember he was like General Hobo in Invader Zim. Sorry, Sergeant Hobo.
That's right. A twisted, horrible knot made from you.
Yeah, dude, man, this guy was like just all around my childhood growing up, and I am just sad as hell to hear that he has passed on. Apparently, he died from complications from pneumonia.
Oh, well, it is an elderly taker, if you will.
Yeah,
but
74. Man.
Yeah, that's. I mean, he was actually a drill sergeant, though.
Yes,
and fell into this line of work.
I believe 14 years in the Marines. Yeah, and was he was definitely typecast for that, but he's so good at it because he actually did it. And that
and
voice,
he was working to the end.
Yep. He, I think the last credit was reprising his role as Sarge in Toy Story for some Disney game.
Oh, well, yeah, he was Sarge in Toy Story. That's awesome.
Yeah, Disney Magic Kingdom. It says it's a video game. I have no idea what this is, but yeah, doing Sarge again. Oh,
maybe he was like the instructor for one of those Tour Disney CDs they put out every couple of years. I had one growing up.
That would work. That would work. It was recently on The Simpsons. But yeah, looks like he kind of slowed down after 2015.
That's fair. I mean, I do think that that's really important to keep busy, right? I mean, look at look at makeup dying Michael Caine, right? Like not like actual Michael Caine who's still kind of trucking, looking pretty good for his age, but like when they make him look old and you're like, oh my God, what was the movie where Third Rock from the Sun had like Alzheimer's?
Oh, I have no idea what the movie is, but John Lithgow?
Yeah. It was real sad. Like when they do up old actors to look past their age and sickly, you're just like, no, don't do it. But when they're actually like when you see Michael Caine like in a press photo and he's just like hanging out, you're like, damn, dude, like way to stay active and have those activities. And so for him, I'm sure like that just being needed helped you keep going.
Yeah. I was just such a big damn fan of the Army. I think the show he showed up in, that at the time I was just like, oh, brilliant casting, was he was in one episode of House. They casted him as House's father.
Oh,
and I was just like, oh, brilliant. Just of course the Army is House's father.
That's good. And that's got a nice little like creativity to it and influence that you can see. There's a lot of those that happen, like who's Johnny Depp's dad, and there was just like some coked out.
Are you talking about in Pirates of the Caribbean?
Yeah, I'm talking about Pirates of the Caribbean.
It was Keith Richards.
Yeah, that made no sense.
It was there were multiple interviews where Depp had noted that Keith Richards was a big influence on the character. Right,
but the influence your parents have is not often so one-to-one. It's more like we ran a strict household, and that's why you ended up quirky.
Yeah, it's more the opposite. I don't know.
So when you mentioned the house thing, that sounds like a great casting, because that strictness, that influence to make House the way he is fascinating to think about. What you wouldn't want is for House to show up and then there's like secondary House, older House is there messing with him, and also a doctor and better at it than him.
Yeah. No, that's a good point. That's a good point. Although I will say, as I'm getting older and older, I'm realizing the more and more similarities I have to my dad.
Sure.
That's always creepy.
It might be more creepy for those whose parents are active. Like my parents have no hobbies, and I'm always like, get a hobby. Come on, like let's. When I come over, and I show up with my family eventually, I want you to say, it's so great to have you here. I have a yoga class in 20. You guys settle yourselves. And then, Dad will be like, yeah, you guys have a great time. I'm working in the garage. But it's starting to become that one where they just sit and stare at you and like remember the good times maybe. But like your dad, I can see like, good to see you, boy. He's just chopping down a tree.
The only difference is he's like, grab that axe. You're getting some work done.
Well, at least he's active, right?
Yeah. No, my if I'm even half as active as my father when I get into my 60s, I will consider it a major success. If I live to be in my 60s, I'm going to consider it a success.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. I don't know. I just spent so much of my life thinking about how different I was from my dad that as I get older and realize that I can actually fix some things that I'm surprisingly handy around the home, like, thanks, Dad. I hated it at the time, and I was a little whiny bitch. But now I can actually fix some things.
Yeah, we were whiny bitches.
I was a worse man. I was Fry. Everything was always why. Well, why? Why do we have to?
I do wonder what kind of family structure would curb that sort of attitude, because you want them to be curious. You want them to say, ask why. I know my problem was that I didn't feel like anything in my house was mine. So I would receive gifts, but the amount of thank yous I kind of owed my parents for a gift made it theirs again. Or just the simple fact of if they gave me something and then I broke it, they would get livid. And that would communicate to me as a child that thing was theirs in the first place. So I went through a horrible, I don't even live here, Mom and Dad kind of battle period in my teens.
I think the part that maybe my parents missed was that I need a certain level of buy-in to find something interesting. Like they were great parents. And they tried. They enrolled me in like everything you can think of, like every sport. They just worked their way through to the point that they started getting weird. They're like, okay, so baseball was a non-starter. Where do we go next? Golf? Oh man, he hates golf. What the hell is next? Bowling, I guess? They put me in a bowling league, and that one actually stuck for a while. I really enjoyed bowling. But like, as far as like the practicality of fixing stuff, I don't know. I was like, building fences bored me to tears. Like, I feel like if, I don't know, now I'm into cars. I feel like if Dad was like, yeah, let's restore a car, I feel like I probably would have zoned in better. Because it's something that at the time, I don't think I wasn't really as interested in cars growing up, but I feel like maybe it would have triggered something more than, yeah, well, we're going to go chop wood, pull out a bunch of palmetto bushes and build a fence.
And maybe it's just the fact that, you know, your parents said, let's work on a car. And you go, no, you're my parent. I'm rebelling anyway during this age. And I must venture to make sure my genetics are spread in some foreign land, because that's what your brain tells you. Yeah.
I actually distinctly remember, my dad probably doesn't remember this, but I distinctly remember him one time when I was like, I don't know, 13, maybe 12, you know, moving rapidly towards the age where you have to learn how to drive. He asked like, hey, you want to restore a car for your first car? And I said no, because I had zero interest in it. And I will forever regret that decision. I will forever that was the biggest mistake I ever made. But yeah, because like for me with like, I think the best example is music. They forced me to take piano lessons. I hated it. I didn't listen to anything that had piano in it. I didn't have a frame of reference. I didn't have a goal. So when they said you can quit, but you have to pick a new instrument, and it has to be an instrument we already have. By the way, the only thing we have in the house is a guitar. I was just like, cool, I'm going to go with guitar because I listen to bands that use guitar. I now have a goal. There's something I want to learn. There's something I want to recreate. And it stuck.
I think for our parents' generation, too, there was a big feeling of, you know, you can be anything you want to be. So let's expose the child to as many things possible so they can have a good idea of what they want to be. And those experiences were very valuable, and they made you okay at a lot of different stuff. But when it comes down to life, particularly in an era of the internet, things are very different. There's not always a job path to follow. And in fact, if I were to tell that statement to kids today, I would say, get good. You can be whatever you want to be, but you have to pick something and get really, really good at it. So I'm going to help you make a decision by exposing you to lots of different stuff. It's your job to actually get good at it.
I think that's fair. Well, shall we take some questions from Twitter before we wrap?
Let's do that.
Cool. If you want to write your emails, if you want to write questions in via email, send them to amovetv@gmail.com, or you can tweet at us at Kyle Ferguson or at Garrett Art on Twitter. Snarky Phantasm asks, are there any video game movies you and Kyle have soft spots for? Despite them being largely terrible, I have a soft spot for the Warcraft movie, despite shortcomings, and the first Resident Evil for just dumb fun. Love the show. I really like the first Resident Evil.
It's good, and it has that monster evolve quality that Aliens and so many different like Godzilla movies have that I just dig.
Yeah. And I just really like Michelle Rodriguez, and she is in that movie.
Wait a minute. Is she an Avatar? No.
Yes.
That's her? Really?
Yeah, that's her flying it's not a helicopter, but basically a helicopter.
Freaking way. Has she aged a day? She's a frickin' ring-holding hobbit.
Oh, God. Yeah, I mean, dude, you're mostly caught up on Fast and the Furious, aren't you?
Wait, that's her too?
Yes!
Holy balls! What age was she when she started this? I mean, she must have been like 20, and now she's, 30 something.
Oh, I bet she's closing in on 40.
That's some damn fine immortality.
She is 39. 39 years old, Michelle Rodriguez. Well, you don't listen, but damn, you're aging well.
Wow, yeah, congrats, man. And she's got a great quality to her. That the Terminator mom, what we were just talking about.
Linda Hamilton.
She's got that like Linda Hamilton badassness, but it's all her own kind of thing.
Yeah. I mean, she kind of plays herself in most movies, but
That's fast. I was honestly like, where do they find these? Are these all sisters? When I was watching Avatar, because I thought they were all the same thing. My God,
That's great. Yeah, it's all Michelle Rodriguez, man. I love Michelle.
that's
Rodriguez.
awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah. The further we get away from the Warcraft movie, the more I hate it. Like at the time, I was just like, okay, this wasn't a complete failure, but I was more giving it points for not completely falling on its face and less detracting points from the fact that it could have been so much better.
I see how it could totally be a guilty pleasure, right? Particularly watching alone. Like that, those movies get to be very immortal. Because Kristen has already made her judgment that she doesn't like Conan, those movies are elevated in my brain. But when someone sits with you, and there's that guy with the voice in there, and you're just like, I believe that's Conan the Destroyer, the second one. But you're just like, that is bad. There's a lot of bad acting in the Conan movies, but when you're by yourself and they cast a wall of force, you're like, yeah, I know that spell. I like this. My brain tunes out the parts I don't like. It's cool.
Yeah. It's both wizards, man. Medivh and Khadgar, they're lame in that movie. It's like if you got lame wizards in your wizard-centric movie, I'm out.
I don't know, the Medivh, shirtless working on his golem. That's pretty hot.
Yeah,
there's
sure.
a lot of fun parts in that movie, and I agree that it could easily be a guilty pleasure, but I think I went over this last time a little bit when I was talking about Apocalypta, but I love it when you go room to room and you see the castle, you see how the dungeon becomes the kitchen that becomes the pleasure house in Conan, and Warcraft just didn't have that quality. You don't get to see the orcs build their town. You don't really see you kind of get to see how the portal evolves from being in the woods, but it's not that Lord of the Rings Isengard feel.
Yeah, it's a long movie, so I don't know where you'd fit it in, but it misses a lot of the in-between. It misses the construction.
Yeah.
The construction and the travel. We get, I think, one travel scene I can think of with the Murloc noise through, what is that? Red Ridge, I think they're going through. So it needed, the world needed to feel bigger.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that comes down to the director. It had to have a very clear vision, and it sounds like, particularly when you look at like actor eyes, you can see the director walking out, and there's going to be some sort of like wall here, and the wall's magical, and just all right, go. But like you have to be so clean and you have to be psychotic. You have to be James Cameron, right? Sometimes to make actors understand where they are and what they're doing there.
Yeah, and it sounds like there was a lot of hands in the same pie between the studio and Blizzard as well.
Yeah.
So I can get that. But the hell was I going to say? Oh, I'm going to actually answer the question, which is probably my all-time favorite video game movie is Mortal Kombat. First Mortal Kombat movie. I'm not even saying it's a guilty pleasure. I would argue it's a good movie.
No, you will be next.
Your soul is mine.
Oh, what the soul song though is so bad. What is that?
What the?
No, not like the theme song. I'm talking about where he kills the main bad guy and all the souls start flying up and the brother's there, but it's playing this real cheesy like 90s song in the background.
Oh man, I don't remember. I haven't seen that in so long. But dude,
I mean, it's
oh god, you're right. Oh, Soldier Hawk, thank you so much. Christopher Lambert is Raiden. It's so great.
Oh, he's so bad.
Oh, he's so bad. It's good though. Like that's where they should have went with Medivh, man. Like he was just he's having no fun in the role at all, and it came out bad. I would rather it be bad and you have fun than be bad and trying to be serious.
I mean, I'm sure who played the guy with the metal eye? Did he go on to do anything?
Oh, Kano?
Yeah.
I'm pulling it up right now. Trevor Goddard. Can't say that name rings a bell.
No.
Apparently he was in Pirates of the Caribbean, but not as a main character.
I believe it.
He was in Deep Rising. I don't even remember that movie. Yeah, and that's about it.
If that was a movie I loved growing up, though. So good. And the scorpion scene and Johnny Cage punching what's his name in the balls?
Goro.
Goro, who was voiced by Scooby-Doo, and did a great job with it too.
Oh, that was the voice actor for Goro?
Yeah. Same guy who does Megatron and everything else. Tons of Futurama voices. Nibbler.
It's credited as Kevin Michael Richardson.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought that was what's his face. Gosh, it sounds like him.
Yeah, no, it looks like a lot of freaking voice acting credits here. Yeah.
Oh, I probably just had the wrong voice actor then. That is a good one. 2 was hot poo.
Oh yeah, no. 2 is one of the worst movies ever made, but it's also fun in its own right because it's so literal. It is such a 1-to-1 from the game in the worst way imaginable.
Yeah. Gosh, that was I've heard it was a production nightmare. Of course, not like it'll go down as history. It's something that people research. That's a great pick, man. That's a good pick for a video game movie.
My follow-up is, and this came up when we did the Tomb Raider episode of Embrace of Spoilers, Silent Hill is my second favorite.
Ooh, I do like Silent Hill. It's not Silent Hill, but it's a fine movie. And it's got, what's her McCrazy face, who is always that crazy, like, village woman in everything.
I'm IMDbing it because I'm not sure exactly who you mean.
Yeah, no, help me out.
The crazy was I don't know.
She was the leader of the cult or in the church kind of thing, and I think she wanted to sacrifice the children maybe. But in like she's always showing up in horror movies and stuff and being the crazy, peasant wife.
Oh, I think it's Deborah Unger. If you look this up, I just don't remember the exact actor's name, but there's a much longer cast for Silent Hill than I remember. I thought it was just Radha Mitchell and Sean Bean, and that was it. But you're right.
Sean Bean role in there was weird.
Yeah.
Good. Like, it added to the world.
Yeah. And spoiler alert, he doesn't die in it. Oh, yeah, it totally was her. And her name is Deborah Unger. Yep. Yeah, I'm looking up photos right now. Oh, man, that is such a good wig. That is fantastic. Man, I need to rewatch Silent Hill. That noise, man, that's siren. That siren is a memorable sound.
Shudder, huh? Yeah. Most things women get caught in a horror time warp after doing this movie, it seems. Oh no, here we go. I think I got her. Alice Krige? Krige?
Krige?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, you're right. Yep. Okay. I forgot. There's a lot of creepy actors in that movie. But yes, I know exactly who. You're right. She makes a good crazy cultist.
Oh yeah, she's nuts. I love it. That's a good answer, man. Between Silent Hill and Mortal Kombat, I struggle to come up. I mean, we already said the Resident Evil.
Yeah, the first Resident Evil's fun as hell, man. That's a good movie.
Some of the subsequent ones are amusing enough too. I saw quite a few of them in theaters.
I'm trying to think of the others. Yeah, I don't know. I can think of a lot of bad ones.
Yeah.
God, Blood Rain is terrible. I remember seeing that in theaters.
Oh my God, I didn't try.
This is the age where we had nothing better to do, so we would just see a movie almost every weekend.
Yeah, it's fascinating to go to a mall and see your old self walking around. You know what wasn't awful? GoldenEye, just kidding.
Wait, what? What? Was that a joke?
I choked. It has nothing to do with it. It's just a bad joke.
That's not even a good joke.
No, I know, because it was a movie first and then became a video game.
It's a terrible freaking joke.
Prince of Persia wasn't awful.
Oh, you're right. It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. It's still like the Sands of Time, the game still like its prince and princess still had 1 billion times better chemistry than Gyllenhaal and whoever played the princess.
Yeah, I mean there was a long story there in the video game that built to the climax and the reversal of time and the stolen kiss, as it were, which was cutely done in the movie, but you just don't get to spend that time with everybody.
Oh man, Sands of Time is so good. The movie's okay. The game is amazing. That's one of my all-time favorites. Kind of continuing down this line, True Villain Manny asked, Hollywood is mining ever deeper into geek culture. Is there any property that hasn't been brought into the mainstream that you would like to see on the big screen? Yes. But I'm curious if you have an immediate answer, Kyle.
That's a good question. That's a difficult question, as he kind of preempts here with his statement that it feels very mined and very predatory towards our video game culture.
Yeah, it doesn't have to specifically be video games, though. You pull from comics, books, comic books.
Gosh, maybe the technology will be there one day. As I kind of mentioned earlier, I still have really big problems with CGI animals. They do not work quite yet. Animorphs, though.
Animorphs is what you go to.
Animorphs, man.
Wow.
Make the movie. But if they did it today, it would be just like that Power Rangers thing they did, where it'd be a over-graphic dishwasher of a mess.
I would really like them to do with Power Rangers correctly. Like, I would like a good Power Rangers movie. That would be fun. I haven't even watched the new one because I hate the way it looks so much. I can't think of, hate to shit on artists, but I can't think of a design I hate more than basically everything I saw from the Power Rangers trailer.
It's so
over-engineered.
Yes, well said. Same thing with the Transformers, right? Like, you have no idea what's going on there. I don't care if his head pops out his butt, and that's how he transforms. Don't hide that from me in a metal blender.
Ooh, Earthworm Jim would be really fun. Jake's in the chat room. Oh, I loved Earthworm Jim.
That could work. It's got a kind of the Tick snarkiness to it that makes fun of its own world, and that could be pretty fun.
Yeah, which because the cartoon was on at the same time, this now makes me want to return to Freakazoid.
Oh, yeah.
Freakazoid was real good.
That Earthworm Jim song sucked, though.
I love it.
Earthworm Jim.
He's such a groovy guy.
Or something like that. Yeah.
I love the Earthworm Jim song. The thing I want more than anything ever, and it's been attempted once but didn't really get a fair shake, is the Dresden Files.
Did they attempt that?
Yeah, there's I believe a half season.
A TV
it's
show.
It's not terrible, actually. It's kind of good. There's some very noticeable changes from the book. The most garish is that Bob is a person. But he's charming as hell, and I kind of love him in the show.
Okay.
So, but the Dresden Files, I think it's God, it's like the world is so well fleshed out. There's so much stuff always happening in the background, and I love the world and the rules within it. That it's very Star Wars in that way, I think. Like, I just love all the crap that's going on in this world, and I wanna see it, man. I want to see it fully realized.
I think that kind of movie, because it is, on the more fantasy side, it would be this, and certainly a lead actor side too. That'd be the kind of thing where you wouldn't say the technology's not there. You would say, I haven't found Dresden yet. And when you find Dresden, you make that movie.
Oh, you mean finding the correct actor?
Exactly. And it'd have to be something a little off, kind of Pirates of the Caribbean-esque, where it may not be obvious to the studio, and there might be a lot of fight back as to what sort of guy, sort of deranged but smart hobo man that this would be.
I think it would have to be a series. I don't think they could make it work in a movie.
I think you could do one of the smaller stories, particularly when there's one of the books where he goes out to a house where the dude keeps summoning crap, and it's very.
That's a first book.
Is it the first book?
Yeah, first book is the house fight with the warlock.
Yeah, but he's like kind of going out of Chicago.
Yeah, well,
to the house.
Yeah, I think he goes kind of out to the rural part of Illinois or something, doesn't he? It's been a very long time since I read the first book.
I mean, when I was listening to it on audio, I was in Chicago, so all the streets I knew and everything else, and I knew where he was going. My parents lived out by the vacation home that he was visiting to fight this warlock. That's an event piece. The more dangerous ones to do would be better handled in a TV show, where it's the series and he's battling ongoing evils in his hometown.
Yeah, that book handles vampires in a way that doesn't make me want to vomit.
Have you watched Exploring Antarctica yet?
No.
Not the name of it?
Nope.
But it's based on Lovecraft?
Nope. None of it. What's the name of the show?
I don't know. It's that one actor, and he's doing that British horror face where they do, and you know, you make like the big kind of
Not helping
orange
me.
slice with your mouth, and someone in the chat might know what I'm talking about, right? It looks great.
The Terror?
The Terror, yes.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I've been meaning to watch this because it's, oh, dude, what did alien name is currently eluding me? Oh, my Lord. Didn't he have something to do with it?
Yes, I know who you're talking about.
How am I blanking on this name?
Oh, are you talking about the artist, right?
No. I thought, for frick's sake, Ridley Scott. I thought Ridley Scott had something to do with this.
Maybe. I mean, it's supposed to be like a Cthulhu thing. I'm also waiting on it. I want to see it end its first season and see if that's a complete story before I watch it. I don't want to get involved in a horror TV show that has no ending.
Fair enough. I can understand. Okay, yeah. He's an executive producer. I'm not crazy. He is working on it. Gotcha. Yeah, I've been hearing really good things about this. I just haven't watched it yet.
I'd say, you know, to True Villain here, that anything Cthulhu-esque is always piquing my interest, but I'm always frightened. And Mountains of Madness has been in production how many times over as a video game and a movie, and it never gets done?
Well, apparently The Terror is based off of it.
Yeah. I really want to see that thing, but I'm waiting to see how it ends.
Cool. I would also like a more mature Ninja Turtles. In the style of the original comics. I love the Ninja Turtles. I even like the two most recent ones they've done are actually, I think, pretty good.
They're fun enough.
Yeah, they lean more into the 90s cartoon, which is what I grew up on, and to the point of absurdity, and I really like it. I think it's a lot more true to the cartoons than Transformers.
Yeah, I would say that I would like to revisit the original comic book, the Slash for Cash Dojo, the creation of Bebop and Rocksteady, you know, the growth of the Technodrome, his connection with Krang, but do it with the big plastic sunglasses and the yellow jump coat.
Yeah. What was it? Trying to remember. Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was. Oh, did he not? I thought Johnny Knoxville was one of the turtles. Was it? Oh, I'm looking at the sequel. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe he only did it in the first one. But yeah, they got the turtles so right. Like, it was very surprising. Okay, so Johnny Knoxville's the voice of Leonardo. Okay, I thought that was perfect. I rewatched Jackass 2, the movie, while Katie was gone. I forgot how much I love Jackass. So he didn't do the. He did not do the acting. He just did the voice. Gotcha. Yep. At least
probably more times than it should. My mind thinks of Raphael standing there by the fire going, Splinter!
Dude, I love the first one. The original live action from when we were kids.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
With Casey Jones and everything. Like, it's really good, actually. Secret of the Ooze, not so much, but
I love that one for very different reasons. But the first one, the one from 1990,
yeah,
like Raphael just in the Dick Tracy jacket with the fedora, coming out of seeing Critters in a New York movie theater,
rolling across the front of a taxi cab and getting in a fight, and it is actually pretty good.
Yeah, still. I love the way they shoot the sewer in that one. Just like, it's so dark, and the only thing that's making you even realize that you're in a sewer is just like the wet reflection of the bricks. Like, it's actually a pretty movie. Now I'm gonna go have to rewatch and you know what else?
Too.
You know what other one is really good is like the one-off animated one they did. It's just called TMNT. They put it out in 2007, and Patrick Stewart's a voice actor in it.
Oh, he did so good. He did. That's
probably my single favorite Ninja Turtles anything.
Was that computerized or was that computer?
No. That's 3D movie.
Yeah, I thought so.
It's CG. But it had I thought it had a really strong style for the time, and the Leonardo Raphael stuff in that is epic. It's so good.
Yeah. Well, and they even do a good job kind of capturing Michelangelo's part in keeping the group together in that movie too.
Yeah, that one was weird, man, because it was really like there were a lot of Easter eggs to the original live action movies. Like it seemed to really be cannibalizing on nostalgia for 90s Turtles, but it didn't really sell it that way. It was just like, hey, here's a Turtles movie, go enjoy it. And I just happened to have a free day. I went and saw it with my cousin, who I grew up watching the 90s live action films with, and we're both sitting there, we're just losing our shit in this kids movie. It was great. I had such a good time with it.
That's awesome. Damn, you just wrote my week, man. I'm gonna be watching Ninja Turtles this week.
Dude, Ninja Turtles is great. It is so great, and I think ripe for. I wouldn't go full like R rating with it, but a slightly more mature Ninja Turtles I think would work really well.
Yeah,
they're freaking monsters, man.
They're wielding sharp weaponry as well.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
And I'd be okay if you went PG-13 and did the robots, right? Like,
yeah,
your Samurai Jack, ultimately really violent episodes where we're all sitting around going, "Ooh, that's not oil, that's blood." It's awesome.
That's what I like about the live-action Transformers movies. It's like those are some of the most brutal fights you will ever see, but it's robot on robot, so who cares?
Yeah, ripping off each other's arms and stabbing each other with them.
Oh man. Yep. I'm just feeling good and nostalgic here. Good and nostalgic. I think the perfect question to end this entire show with is, hey, tall man asks, where in the theater do y'all like to sit? Also, what's your favorite movie snack?
I usually let Kristen decide. We end up in the upper middle, but she is not opposed at all to sitting like front row, which is pretty weird to me.
Yeah, it's not. I can't do the front. I can't do the front. I will personally do the front if the crowd where I first decided to sit is just awful. I would rather crane my neck than listen to some jerk freaking talk through a whole movie.
What bothers me, I don't care so much about talking. It's somebody scratching someone's back.
Someone scratching someone else's back?
Yeah, like they're sitting at it's not like vulgar. It's fine. You can do it in public. But just like someone will be taking their nails and running them up and down their significant other's back for like over half the movie, and this is. I
have not experienced that, but during Tomb Raider, and I thought I mentioned this on Embrace the Spoilers. I think I did. There's a woman behind me who not only was talking, but scratching her foot the whole movie, and her foot must have been made out of stone. It was the driest, scratchiest scratching I've ever heard. I could almost feel the foot flakes landing on my shoulder. It was disgusting. And I just wanted to scream at this person. And she's having a fight with her husband at the same time.
Well, you got itchy feet, man,
Yeah, I'm just like,
maybe they're related.
You're the worst. You're the worst. Leave.
Yeah.
Leave this theater now. Man, I have few things get on my nerves as much as people who just don't shut the hell up and enjoy the film.
To an extent, I would go back to Tallahassee to watch movies. Seeing movies at the Tallahassee movie theater where I went to college was one of the most enjoyable experiences of my life, and it was very much that don't go in there and everyone yelling at the. It
depends on the movie. It depends on the horror movies with a packed house when everyone's kind of in on it and cheering and yelling at the screen. That's probably the most fun I've ever had at the movies. Was a midnight premiere of the Friday the 13th remake. I don't know what year it came out, but it was completely packed. It was midnight. Everyone was on the same page. People were hooting and hollering and screaming at the screen, and everyone was. It was a crowd. The crowd was involved with it, and it was probably the most fun I've ever had seeing a movie.
I went to a packed house for Cabin in the Woods, and it was
I'm jealous.
Dead quiet. It was but the best kind. Everyone just at the beginning it was all whispers and like, what's this? And by the end, just everybody forward in their seats, hands on their, elbows on their knees, and just in.
Oh, hey, Tall Man's right. Yeah, we went and saw the Evil Dead remake on opening day too, and that one was great because no one was having fun. Everyone was being like, just experienced revulsion together, and it was wonderful. I love the Evil Dead remake. I love Evil Dead. It's one of my favorite properties ever. Bruce Campbell is my hero, but I still love the remake because they just went the opposite direction while it was still Evil Dead. Like, it was like what they were trying to accomplish with the very original one, where it was supposed to be deeply disturbing, but it's just old and it doesn't hold up, so it's not. And in this one, they're just like, we learned things have gotten a lot better on the grotesque front, and we're gonna make you sick. And I loved every minute of it.
I haven't seen it because of that reason, but I'm glad it exists for horror fans everywhere.
It is disgusting in the best way possible. Like, I mean
sure.
that as the most glowing review I can give of the movie. It is so disturbing.
I mean, all it takes is one scene, like Dawn of the Dead, right? And fun move, the one in the mall. Am I correct?
Are you talking about the remake or the original?
The remake.
Okay, because I love the remake. I like it better than the original.
But there's that part at the end. I think it's even during the credits, but it's the whole reason I won't watch the movie again, where they open the cooler, and the ones in there going, and like, oh,
it's hilarious. I love that part.
It is funny, but it's just messed up.
Oh, I love it. I love it so much. Yeah, that's a Zack Snyder property, man. I like Zack Snyder. I think he needs to stick to just doing stuff other people have written. Because he's got a great eye. I love him as a director. But anytime he gets involved with a script, it just falls off a cliff, in my opinion. But, yeah. As for where I actually sit in a theater, usually kind of upper middle. But anywhere before the pass-through to the lower seats, anything behind that is totally fine with me.
Yeah, well, plus that front area, particularly the row right after the pass-through, is usually where the teens hang out with their families in the back, but that's the cool kid area, and it can be quite rowdy. People, all the teens got mad bored when Dad Space in the most recent Guardians of the Galaxy started talking to his son, and you're just like, you bastards, shut the hell up down there. This is emotional.
That's where it pisses me off, man. Like, when the talking there's no universe where it makes it a better experience.
Yeah, and I get, like, as a kid, like, you don't care about your relationship to your dad. You're pissed about it. You don't know why you have these emotions, but not until you're at least 30 and you start being like, man, I could be a dad. I could mess up a kid. Like, do you really think it's more interesting?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, man, I love going to the theaters. Hey, Tall Man also wanted to know what your favorite movie snack was. I'm pretty boring. I really just like a good buttered popcorn.
Oh, man. I have since discovered I am allergic to high fructose corn syrup.
Oh, that pretty much destroys everything at the theater.
Yeah. But I love Sour Patch Kids. I really do. And I found a non-high fructose corn syrup version, but they're still as destroyable, if you will. You shouldn't stack fake corn syrup products in your stomach to large amounts. It does not feel nice.
Gotcha. That makes sense. The only other thing is every time we go, we pretty much have to get a box of cookie dough bites.
Those are good.
Yeah. That was a candy I did not know existed until I started dating Katie. She's like, "What do you mean you've never had cookie dough bites?"
I remember seeing them advertised on the pre-screen before we started the, this has been your first look, and then the waves go. Stupid ass
It's like,
thing.
Great, another ABC family comedy. I do not care.
But they used to have ads for those, and I remember trying them, and they're really good in ice cream as well. They make ice cream that has cookie dough in it.
Oh, I'm sure they do. But yeah, I didn't know it was a thing. Never saw them in my life. Katie bought a box, and I was just like, oh my God, where have these been my whole life?
In the past, it was the Reese's Pieces for Kristen and Sour Patch Kids for me.
I'm a big Reese's Pieces fan, too. I just like candy.
Yeah,
I haven't outgrown candy, man. Yeah, it's not Candy Man, but candy. Man.
And I learned visiting my grandma this last time that as you get to 90, 80 and so, your taste buds start to die off, which is why when you eat at an old people's home, it's so damn salty and savory, but also why their candies are such a smack in the mouth and just sugar balls, because that's what they can taste.
Makes sense. That would explain when I worked in a retirement home as my first 3 jobs, Florida. I had to microwave soup until half of it had evaporated before it was the temperature that would please some of the residents.
Probably because they couldn't feel it. They're scalding themselves, man, but they just want to feel like they're young again.
I remember one time this woman sent it back like 3 times, and I'm just like, are you serious? It's molten. And I brought it back with half of the soup no longer in it and burnt to the side of the soup cup.
Oh. And it was good.
And she was stoked. She was like, yes, perfect. Great job, you little bastard.
Wow.
It's one of the meanest women I ever had to deal with.
Horrors of old age.
Yeah. Yeah, one of the meanest residents I ever had to deal with. But, yeah, I've got retirement home stories. I'm surprised more of those haven't come up already, but we'll have to hit those at a later day, because I think this is a beautiful, beautiful place to call this episode done. So... thank you all for listening. If you're getting this through YouTube or something, consider subscribing to the RSS feed for the podcast. Write in amovetv@gmail.com, or you can tweet to Kyle and I at Kyle Ferguson, at Garrett Art on Twitter. Before we go, Kyle, where can folks find you?
You can find me over at twitch.tv/Kyle Ferguson. I will be gone. Tomorrow. Kristen doesn't know that because I'm taking her to the zoo, but I'm taking off tomorrow for Kristen's birthday. It's going to be awesome. But check out youtube.com/Kyle Ferguson for today's later video. That'll go up. That is a how to play Diablo video. And I'm excited to get it out to everybody because you should be playing Diablo. He's really, really good.
Sweet. I need that. Kyle.
You're part of the inspiration, but also Jeff Kanata, who has been getting on Diablo as well.
Very cool. Folks, I'm Garrett Art on Twitter, as I've already mentioned. All of the podcasts are at amove.tv. A new Let's Talk About Star Wars is up. I would go listen to that. A new R2-T2, my solo show, is up, where I give the play-by-play of my experience with the snake. You can also check my Instagram, which I believe... I always forget my damn Instagram. I think it's Gar, Gar_GW. And you can actually watch the video of us catching and releasing the snake on my Instagram account. I'm sorry. I'm just going to triple check to make sure I'm telling you all the right damn thing, because I always forget my own. Yeah, it's Gare, Gare_GW. That's me on Instagram. And you can watch me release a snake. Other than that, nomoonart.com. That's my graphic design portfolio. I am taking freelance at the moment. I am also booking hour-long lessons. So go to nomoonart.com and check that out. It's going to wrap it up for this episode of Weeksauce. We'll see you in a week's time. We'll see you Thursday for Into the Nexus. But until then, good luck and have fun.
Take care.
Good show, sir. That was fun.
That was fun.
I did not expect so much Hearthstone talk, but that was a really fun Hearthstone discussion.
I'm glad you enjoy it. I mean, it's really no different than our movie talk, right? Where I can't remember the name of the guy or the thing, but you can follow the threads.
I can never remember the name of the 2/2 for 5 mana that summons Void Lords and Doom Guards, and I think should be removed from the fucking game. But that's just me. I have opinions.
Oh, recruit the demon thing?
Yeah, I can never remember its damn name.
Oh, and then Demon Fire or whatever it's called that gives +2/+2 is a 2 cost. And man yells like clouds.
Cabal Lackey, thank you, Kilmarnock. I always think Summoner is somewhere in the name, and it's not. That's Spiteful Summoner, and that's a completely different type of deck.
Oh.
Yep.
Demon deck just hasn't been the same since old Mal'Ganis left.
Now, you can always play Wild.
I know, but that's ARAM to me. You got to have the rules to make the cards interesting.
I really like Wild, but I feel like you need a pretty big card collection to be competitive.
Yeah, and maybe I would have a really nice demon deck with everything I've collected over the years there.
Yeah, but you also said that you don't really care about your win rates, so you might really enjoy Wild, man.
I could. The main reason I avoid is the same reason, I figure you avoid ARAM. The framework provides a legible game.
Mm.
And I like beating people with bad decks when they're trying their hardest.
Yeah, that is. I can understand the. I can understand the bit there.
Sweet. I'm gonna run. I've got to go pick up that stuff.
All right, I'm starving, so I'm gonna leave too. Thanks, chat
Cool.
room. See ya.